Live your life within the moment, moment. And don't go wait until the morning, morning. You never know when it is over, over. All that I know is we'll get older, older. So let us dance this side away. Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. Get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. Standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment, moment. And don't go wait until the morning, morning. You never know when it is over, over. All that I know is we'll get older, older. So let us dance this night away.
Flying into your home like a 1930s train wreck. From the brand new VNL 860 studios. Creating a community of friends and topic-based discussions. This is JJDrones Live.
I'm Karl Marx and I approve this message.
And it's JJDrones Live. Welcome to the train wreck. Thank you everybody for coming in today. We've got Dave from Cuddle Thailand. We've got Haley Johnson. Thank you for coming in, baby girl. We got hunting and stuff. How you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. It's going to be a fun show because you are going to get a chance to run what we talk about. But first, if you'd like to have one of your videos on my featured on my website, email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. And for everything JJ Drones related, go to JJDrones360.com. And if you're going to do some shopping on Amazon, go to my Amazon links on my website, JJDrones360.com/Amazon1. And if you would like to have one of your videos featured on our Blinker Flu of the Week, email Dan, droningveteran@gmail.com. And our Spreadshirt shop is now open. It's jjdrones.myspreadshop.com. Go get your JJ Drones merch. We've got JJ Drones. We've got Welcome to the Train Wreck. We've got Blinker Fluid merch. It's all there for you right there underneath that link. And it should be right there on the YouTube channel. And if you'd like to help support Reach Across America or Mission 22, it's JJDrones360.com/donate. The links are there. And we also have the links in the description of the video below. So thank you, everybody, for coming in. Susanna, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Ted, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And it's going to be kind of a lighthearted video, and we're also going to do a little bit of safety tips for everybody because we've had an interesting week of weather. But before we get into everything tonight, let's bring in one of our co-hosts. He is the cheesiest of cheeseheads. His name is Brian. And there you go.
Good evening,
How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Just doing just fine. Hey, Scott, thank you so much for coming in. On location with Scott, he's got a great live stream coming up on Monday. He's going to be actually going out there and sharing pictures, random pictures that people have taken, and helping people make their photography better. So go ahead and check out On Location with Scott. Great guy, great channel. And let's see here. Ted says that I was flying some drones today with my son. We found 4 of them under his bed, still in the box. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of fun, Ted. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And Ted was out turkey hunting this weekend, so he's got a good video coming out on that. And Jeremy is at the golf course again in his neighborhood. Thank you for checking in, Jeremy. Oh, it's next Monday. Sorry about that. Next Monday On Location with Scott is going to be his photography. And I submitted 5 photos for him to pick apart. So I hope he goes easy on me. But it's a lot of fun. But we don't have Dan tonight right now. He may come in a little bit later on because he's working on his side-by-side. And TeeJ may be coming in a little bit later on. But first, before we get to everything, we have our unofficial sponsor of the program, G Money, with his Florida Man Tip of the Week.
Hi, I'm Carl Marks. You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about fire safety while you're in the outdoors. This can also, a lot of these basic principles can pertain to your safety at home and your basic general travels. I said this in a previous video. I utilized this term, and a friend of mine really liked it. So your survival is like a chess match. So you kind of have to think 2 or 3 steps ahead just to be prepared when stuff goes wrong, awry, what have you. So what we have here, this is a commercial fire extinguisher. I received when I purchased my van. I've had my van for, I don't know, 5 years, whatever it is. And this came with it. It was fully charged, and I'm going to show you something. It's no longer fully charged because I had to actually utilize it. Here's the gauge. It should be right in that upper level right there at 12 o'clock. I don't know how well you can see that. It's kind of dark out here. But I'm going to tell you a story. I already told you a story, but basically I was in Fort Myers driving down US 41, and we were in like drought conditions, and I noticed a roadside fire. The grass was on fire. It was spreading rapidly. I was able to pull over, back up, and at that same instance, I looked over and saw a Lee County deputy. I was able to flag him down. He pulled over, and I gave him this commercial. This is a commercial fire extinguisher. I let him extinguish it. I could have done it just for CYA and everything. So we were able to extinguish that fire, but it was spreading rapidly. You can imagine what would happen out here in the forest. Countless lives could be lost just due to carelessness or a lightning strike or whatever. But it's best to always be prepared. So I'm going to show you how this operates. It's very easy, very easy. I'm not going to, there's probably still a little bit of charge left in here. I need to refill it. I've been negligent. That's my self-confession for this video, that you shouldn't play with fire safety. I need to get around to getting this, even if I got a smaller one at a cheaper level. But these only last for 5 years. I'm not even going to look at the label. because I know this is it needs to be recertified and recharged. Before they can recharge it, they have to certify it, make sure it's in operational condition. One of the things they will check the seals on the bottom, make sure there's no rust. If there's any type of rust, or they feel they could possibly lead to a leak, they're not going to certify it. So basically, if I had to guess, you're probably looking $50 to $100. I don't know 100%, but you could probably go to like a boating store, or I know you can get the boating ones. They're probably not. They're good for a boat, you know, but I don't know how well it would extinguish a campfire or how long it's going to last. But if you can afford it and get the heavy duty commercial extinguisher, I highly suggest it. Like I said, you know, what's the value of your life? Do you know? You're probably saying, well, damn, you haven't done it yet. And then one other thing I'm going to show you is how to utilize this. What we have here, we have a pin in here, similar to, you know, like a pin on a grenade, so to speak. So I can press this all I want. It's not going to release any of the contents to you know, extinguish the fire. Once you pull this and you depress that, you're going to have all this white smoke powder type stuff come out very rapidly. It's very, very effective. I was really impressed, super happy I had that for the Lee County deputy. He was impressed. He was happy. He had one for whatever reason. He wasn't grabbing his, but so I supplied this one and it worked out well. But if I ran into a problem right now, there's probably not a whole lot of charge left in this. So I need to step up my game as I'm telling you how to step up your game. So survival, it's like a chess match. You know, do you want to win or do you want to lose? I know I'm doing my best to stay in it and win it. So remember, thanks for watching Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. Remember, folks, always know your legal limits and be safety prepared.
And thank you very much to Gary from Jailbait and Tackle, our unofficial sponsor in the program. And Brian's got some fire extinguishers that are available for sale through Home Depot, so thank you for sharing that. And we do have the one, the only, he doesn't crash his drones nearly as much as I do. His name is TeeJ.
What up?
Thanks for coming in, TeeJ.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you letting me come in. You know, I gotta be honest. I don't think I have a fire extinguisher anywhere in my house. I gotta be honest with you.
Oh well, you should probably look into that.
One because you never know when there could be a fire. You know, I mean, the only way I'd have to put it out is just get a bunch of water and just throw it.
Yeah, well, water doesn't always work for everything, right, Brian?
No. Definitely doesn't.
You know, I just realized I had just a massive error just now when I threw up those fire extinguishers.
Okay.
I really should have went to Amazon and referenced your link.
You probably should have. And I didn't even catch that, so.
Welcome to the trade, Nick.
That's right. We've got Ottercat came in. Thank you so much for being here, Ottercat. We've got Gator Jake that came in. He says, good reminder, I need to check my fire extinguishers. I also have fire blankets. So fire blankets would be good too.
Yeah. I don't think I even have one of them either.
I mean, this is a smaller one. I mean, and this is actually the same one I have in my kitchen right now, and I have another one out by my back patio where my grill is.
Oh, very nice.
It's probably nowhere near as big as the one that Gary had with the hose, but if you have a small grease fire, it's enough to get it knocked down while you're dialing 911. So
we also have USA drone flyer Captain Joe America. Thank you so much for being here.
In the house.
And we have got let's see here, just making sure I'm not missing anyone. Okay, so looks like we are all caught up on that. And we're going to talk a little bit about safety as far as the storms go that we've been dealing with this week. But definitely, if you are looking for a fire extinguisher and you don't have one already, get one of the fire extinguishers that, what are they, class?
ABC.
ABC, that's the one that I was
ABC.
talking about. Yep. So look for a fire extinguisher that is class ABC, so it pretty much covers everything. But this week we've got our Blinker Fluid of the Week segment, and this week's Blinker Fluid of the Week is Johnson juice flavored. And remember to put that hashtag Johnson Juice in the chat. And Chris Wedgeworth, thank you so much for coming in. It is the best series on YouTube, Blinker Fluid of the Week. And remember to pay attention to the numbers because you're going to be voting at the end of this. And here is number 1. Now this is a really, these Utah intersections are very, very difficult to operate, as shown here by this Ford F-150.
Oh my God. That's scary.
I don't know what he was expecting Dan to do at that point, because Dan couldn't go anywhere.
I don't know. Like, I think the white truck had the right of way. I think.
No, the white truck has a yield sign.
Oh.
Now here's Brian. And this is a normal, everyday drive through the state of Wisconsin. Up until that point. Oh wait, no, that's pretty regular.
Oh man, he's like, oh, that one truck is cut off.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should probably pay attention to where you're going.
Exactly.
This one is probably my favorite, only because this truck looks like a clown car. I would vote for that just because that little truck just looks like a clown car.
Yeah. All the clowns are that.
Now this is the same intersection. But that guy, he just nailed it. He's like, I ain't waiting for no truck.
Damn.
And number 5. And this one's from Christian. Now that person waved at Christian, so I think that makes it okay. Christian, I don't know if you think that's okay, but they absolutely thought that it was fine for them to do that to you.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
All right, guys, so I'm putting it up in the chat right now. We've got the poll up. 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can vote for your favorite. And if you're going to vote number 5, Brian, or either Brian or Haley, if you can keep an eye out for hashtag 5 for those of you that are going to vote for number 5. But I think number 5's okay because they waved. Brian,
Did you ever mail mine out yet, Brian?
Your blinker fluid? You mean
Yeah.
this one right here?
that would be the one.
Whichever. Yeah, I think so.
Does this answer your question?
Nice. Nice.
It will be in the mail, TJ. I promise. I am
Okay,
very
all right.
neglectful lately. I apologize.
No worries. No worries.
Okay, so my mom is voting for number 1 because she's on the Facebook side. So just kind of make a note of that. And then apparently it was alleged that Ottercat, where was that comment? I got to go back up to...
It's right above that.
Is it?
That's her.
Oh, Ottercat, is it possible to vote for all of them? I mean, it would be, but no, that wasn't the comment that I was looking for. It's this one right here. That Hunting and Stuff is alleging that Ottercat went and shot his laptop.
Oh, goodness.
That's
Why did he do that for?
Well, I mean, that's what was alleged, but I think it was all cleared up right here. It's the wife's, so I didn't. Otherwise, he would be shot afterwards. And if I were to vote, like I said, I would vote for the little box truck. I would vote for number 3, just because the little box truck just looks like a complete clown car. And
proportionally, that thing's not right.
No, it's not. And it just looks funny. And then just to do a U-turn like that, just out in the middle of nowhere, is absolutely I can English today. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't English today, guys. I've been going on very little sleep and caffeine and very little food lately. So we're going to make this together because this is... There you go.
Slowly. Just take your time.
Slowly.
Oh, by the way, this is in honor of our friend Florida Man, G Money. So my new thermal mug.
Oh, nice.
Are you really trying to make him angry, Brian? Are you trying to are you trying to piss off the unofficial sponsor of the program?
What if I got brownie flavored donuts? Would that do it?
I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm not into brownies or donuts, but we all know his thoughts about Whataburger. So yeah.
Yes, but Brian, you've been going to that bakery over there in what is that, Johnson's Corners, or something?
Yeah, what, O&H with the crinkle? Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay, all right. I just want to see where we're at. I'm just trying to see where we're at on them becoming a sponsor.
Yeah, if I can get O&H Bakery to be a sponsor, yeah, I'll keep working on that. And for those of you that don't know, the Danish kringle is the official pastry of the state of Wisconsin.
Yes, absolutely. And any bakery that wants to sponsor this program, email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. We'll talk. I work for donuts.
But I will say this: if Culver's
who
makes a thermal cup, I will get a Culver's thermal mug. But they don't have any yet. So.
We will make that happen. TJ.
Culver's is awesome. I like Culver's, but you know who else has really good donuts is, well, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence, because Krispy Kreme has really good donuts. And then there's a place in here. There's a place here in Jupiter called Jupiter Donuts. And then there's another donut place in Fort Lauderdale. What the heck is that donut place? Shoot, I forgot the damn name of it, but they have really good donuts as well. So
there's a place in California and in Nevada that I want to try. It's called Pink Box Donuts, and it's one place that I want to try out because they have some really good donuts there. And then there's another bakery at the Petro Truck Stopping Center up in Clear Lake, Minnesota. And they have an amazing donut. And Brian, what on earth what kind of heaven are you giving me here?
That looks delicious. That looks like a sandwich on a donut.
So this is a Krispy Kreme recipe, but you and I, being from the Midwest, we're very partial to our Quick Trip.
Yes.
So get a Quick Trip glazer.
Okay.
Cut it in half.
Okay.
And turn it into the bun for a cheeseburger.
Oh, that looks so delicious.
You know what? That is, yeah, that's the new project for the week.
That looks amazing.
Yeah.
There's we don't have any Quick Trips here. I know there's some in your state, but I've seen some in Atlanta or Georgia. But
that's a different Quick Trip.
Yeah, that's a Quick Trip with a Q.
Yeah.
You guys have Wawa down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Wawa's pretty good.
Wawa's
so on location with Scott says Bosa donuts in Arizona are the best. Otter Cat just likes donuts.
I don't know. I've never been to Hollywood before, Jake, but I don't know about the donut factory. I don't know about all that.
So now this week we've actually had a large amount of tornadoes, and if you are unfamiliar with Ryan Hall, check out his channel, Ryan Hall Y'all, on YouTube. There's also another channel that I also watch. His channel is called Max Velocity, and when Ryan isn't live, usually Max Velocity is. But these are some great channels that will keep you weather aware, because we don't want anybody to go crazy and be scared of what's happening. We would rather you be weather aware. And so if you lived under a rock over this past couple days, I'll give you a little clip from NBC News. So let us go here.
State, Oklahoma. Take a look at this devastation. This is the small city of Sulphur, home to only 5,000 people, some 85 miles southeast of Oklahoma City.
Now, Brian, last night Sulphur was hit by multiple tornadoes, one right after another. Didn't you say there were 4 warnings all at the same time?
Right. So this was from watching Ryan Hall. There were 4 separate tornado warnings or polygons covering the city of Sulphur at one given time. Just the thunderstorms were doing a train effect, literally just following the same path of each other, which, we're seeing the devastation of the tornadoes, but I've also seen a lot of flooding down there as well because of that. These are high precipitation supercell thunderstorms. They're nocturnal at night, so you couldn't see anything coming. It really was a worst case scenario for those folks. If you were watching the weather on Friday and you saw everything that happened starting in Lincoln, Nebraska, and going up through Des Moines, they at least had the advantage of it being during the daytime. So there were a lot of chasers out that were filming this, TV stations with their cameras on helicopters out. You had the DOT cams. There is a lot of ways to know right where these are. When it comes to being at nighttime, you're relying strictly on radar, and that's about it. And it's just a bad situation. I believe there were... I know of at least 2 people that lost their life. One, unfortunately, was a 4-month-old baby infant.
4 people. So it was updated to 4 people in Sulphur, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Much of Main Street, as you can see, reduced to rubble, lives shredded. At least 4 deaths reported in the state, including an infant. More than 100 tornadoes are reported to have struck since Friday, the flurry starting in Nebraska. And tonight, the threat of severe weather remains in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. CBS's Omar Villafranca is in Sulphur, Oklahoma.
Okay, so guys, I mean, this stuff, it's springtime. And, Minden, Iowa got hit hard, too, hunting and stuff. You're absolutely right. There was a whole lot of people that were hit hard through with these tornadoes. And the one thing that I want to share is do not stop underneath an underpass if you're driving a car. That is a myth that has been debunked over and over again. So do not do it. Number one, when you look at an overpass, it's basically a wind tunnel. So if that tornado actually comes and hits that overpass, all of the wind is going to go right through. Now, there are certain ones that have girders under it, but that is not the typical overpass. The typical overpass just has that slope, and that's it. So if that tornado actually hits that overpass as a direct hit, you're going to either be sucked out or you're going to get hit with debris. But one way or another, you're going to end up getting seriously injured or die. Not to mention the fact that you have traffic behind you. It's not a good situation. So please do not, under any circumstances, think that the overpass is a good spot to shelter from a tornado. Brian, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but we're talking about weather and what's going on. I'm going to do this.
Gator Jake says, as a former aviator, I can read some of the hooks on a radar map that are indicative of tornadic activity. Our tornadoes here in West Florida crop up mostly during tropical storms. And Gator Jake, the other thing that you run into too down there in Florida is you guys have more water spouts than just tornadoes.
Yeah, fortunately enough, I've never been. I've just seen like the effects and stuff, but I've never seen an actual tornado in front of my face, like in real life. But like I have those hurricane-proof shutters that you can close, and then my mom, she has the hurricane-proof windows. So,
Brian, where are you showing us here?
Well, this is a radar app that I use. It's called Radar Scope, and I'm zoomed out. Right now I just have the Milwaukee radar selected, but if you start looking down here in Oklahoma, all these, they're called polygons, are different warnings. These two here in beige are just special weather statements talking about weather in the area. This here is some of the flash flooding. The yellow ones here are a severe thunderstorm. And there are a pair of tornado warnings out right now in Texas. So this weather system is not at all finished. In fact,
it's just beginning.
It really is. I mean, it's a time of year though for it. So you can see if I go to velocity. So if anyone really wants to start learning about reading radar, I'm going to zoom in on this warning. The reds, the blues, and the purples, this is the direction of wind to and from the radar. And you can kind of see this, that you have the wind going both away and from. So this whole thing's just broad circulation. And I'm going to bet that the problem is right where this blue and green and here this red is. This is probably right where the circulation is. That they're looking at that prompted their warning. So, but that's I am a kind of a weather dork in a lot of ways. So.
And hunting and stuff says I like Radar Omega. You can look at velocity and it shows right where the rotation is. And hunting and stuff, that is what Ryan Hall uses. And a lot of people, it's $9 for the basic package. So if you're interested in that, you can get that through the Google Apps store or the Apple Play Store, I would assume. Gator Jake says, I can remember turning out of some clouds in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and we were staring at a giant water spout in our C-130. We collectively filled out our flight suits that day. I can imagine.
What's the C-130? Is that a
That's one of their, it's a military cargo plane.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a very large plane.
Yes. It will carry a lot of vehicles.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Radar Omega is a great app. I've been using Radar Scope because I think I had it long before Radar Omega was even available. But any good radar app will have both the velocity, just about every single version of radar you can get on into it. I know they're both made for broadcast use.
So let's do some general safety tips for tornadoes. Number one, if you have a tornado warning in your area, take it seriously. The tornadoes that hit in Omaha and in Iowa and in Lincoln, there were no deaths. There were some injuries, but as far as I know of, as of right now, there were no deaths. A lot of people took those warnings seriously. They went to either the lowest room in their house, or they went into the room that was closest to the center of their house when they got the warning, and nobody died. Okay. Number two, if you are in a mobile home and you get a tornado warning, you're not going to want to stay in your mobile home. Your mobile home is not going to survive the tornado. You're going to want to go and find a more sturdy place like a Walmart or some sort of business that is a brick building. In fact, there's a town that I go through in Kansas that has a community storm shelter, so that if the tornado does come, everybody can just go to that storm shelter. And I see it while I'm driving down the highway, and I should probably check it out one of these days. But so take the tornado warning seriously, because there are some people that get complacent, especially in places like Oklahoma and Kansas, where you're in an area that you normally get tornadoes. Just be smart, be weather aware, and follow the instructions of emergency services, whether that be the weather services, or if you watch somebody like Ryan or Max Velocity or some other person on YouTube that's trying to help you out. Brian, you have any other tips?
Get one of these. It is a weather radio. Think of this as a smoke detector for weather. And it will go off in the middle of the night. They are battery backup. So in case the power goes out, it'll still make noise. You can get, if you are deaf or blind, they have, if you're blind, you'll hear it. But if you're deaf, they have shakers on it, so it will vibrate your pillow. But that little radio will save your life. Last night, Jason will attest to this. Him, me, and Gary were just texting back and forth like we sometimes do. And there was a tornado warning for the county that I lived in. It was radar indicated. Nothing became of it, but you heard about it. Now, 10 minutes later, Amazon decided to let me know via my Alexa that I have in the other room, but that was 10 minutes. This thing will go off instantly. So if you're relying on those, and the warnings on your phone will only go off if you're within the Polygon area. So, and that doesn't mean anything. If you have one storm that's popping up, a tornado, there could be another one next to it. So, it's you can rely on your technology, but that cell phone tower gets hit, you're not going to get any warning either. So I highly recommend a no other radio of some sort. Maybe
now
two. I've got a 2-story house. I got one on each floor.
Now, the scariest thing about tornadoes versus hurricanes is, number one, we're talking storms that can produce over 300 miles per hour winds, especially when you're getting up to the EF5s. And so even a hurricane style shutter like you've been talking about, TeeJ, would not protect your house, even if you had something like that from an EF5. The other thing that I just want to mention as far as like a safety tip is that do not depend on the sirens, because the sirens are run by people. They're not run automatically. So basically you have to wait for a weather spotter or somebody to either see. It all depends on the community's policies as far as when those sirens go off. So some communities may be, whenever there's a tornado warning, they go off, or sometimes it'll be if there's actually one spotted. It really depends on what your community's codes are for that, and not every community has sirens. So just pay attention. I mean, I know it's the most boring thing that you can do in your entire life, because one thing that I had to learn when I became a truck driver is to monitor the weather, because I need to know what roads are going to be good for me to drive on and which ones are not. But this is the same thing. This is just something that you should do on the daily basis, just to get an idea of what you're going to be looking at, either to just for the day or throughout the week, and then check on it periodically, because you don't want to be caught off guard. And I think the weather is probably one of the easiest things that we can neglect, but it's also the easiest things that we can keep up on.
Yeah, and also make sure you have batteries for flashlights. Make sure your phones are charged. Fill your bathtubs up with water. Grab as much food and necessities as you can beforehand, so that way you're good to go. Just make sure you have all your necessities that you need.
I mean, in being down in Florida where you are, DJ, you're used to prepping for hurricanes, and here in the Midwest we don't have those. We have blizzards and we have tornadoes. Out on the West Coast, California, there are earthquakes and wildfires. So, there's a lot of resources out there. FEMA is a great one. I think they said you should have a gallon of water for every person in your house at any given time available. I have 2 cases of water, one for me and one for my cat. I have a generator, that runs on natural gas, but if something happens to that infrastructure and the natural gas has to get shut off, I don't have electricity. So I made sure I have, and I've got a well. So I need to have water. So I keep in my house at any given time 2 cases of bottled water. And it's 3, because I'll be drinking 1. So it's constantly being replenished, so you don't have just, stale water. But that's something you should have. You should have, some sort of dehydrated food, a couple days worth, just in case no one can get to you. I'm living just south of Milwaukee. I'm in a fairly metropolitan area, but I'm also on a dead-end street off of another dead-end street. It's easy to get forgotten about. So I have 2 days worth of food sitting here, at any given time, that I can break that out and eat that, because it doesn't have to be refrigerated. I just add water. That's it. MREs. So
there you go.
There's a lot of things you can do to be prepared for not just tornadoes, but any sort of severe weather event.
Yep. And you can have a go bag ready to go, but the biggest thing with the tornadoes is make sure you get to a basement. If you don't have a basement, go to a storm cellar. If you don't have a storm cellar, go to the innermost room in your house that has 0 windows, and then get into a bathtub or whatever, and then cover yourself up with pillows. Make sure that you have, if you have a bicycle helmet, put on a bicycle helmet, or a football helmet, or a baseball helmet. There's so many things that you can do to protect your head, because when a tornado comes through and demolishes a house, you're going to have all of that debris just flying up everywhere. So make sure that you have something to protect your head. And make sure that you're wearing shoes, because if your house gets demolished and you're going out there and you're walking around, there's going to be nails, there's going to be glass, there's going to be all this stuff. Make sure that you're wearing good shoes and that you're prepared for that. And then here's the number one thing that I learned last night that I don't think that anybody discusses on a regular basis. I'm sure it's discussed at some point, but even though the tornado has gone away, do not just go out there and start doing search and rescue, because as long as you're within that warning area, make sure that you're staying in your safe place until you're told that it's safe to come out. Because like I said, that Sulphur place in Oklahoma had 4 tornadoes come through. Not all of them touched down, but they had 4 tornadoes come through, or at least some sort of rotation. And I know that a little bit further north in Dixon, they had 3 tornadoes come through. So just because that first tornado came through and it was done doesn't mean that you're not going to have another one coming through and, causing you more heartache. So just be aware that that is a possibility.
I just saw a comment on here from hunting and stuff. You mentioned water with the water tower. That's only if the water tower is still standing.
Yes.
I can't think of where it was. It was last year. I want to say it was one of the storms that hit Kentucky. The water tower was laying across the volunteer fire department.
Oh, wow.
They lost. Yeah, it was, of all the places that it could have fallen, it was like the town hall, volunteer fire department, police station building. The water tower was next to it was all just municipal land, and that's right where it landed. And the trucks were crushed. I mean, they couldn't do anything to help their people. I mean, you felt horrible for them. So even if you have, municipal water available for you, that may not be an option. Just throwing that one out there.
Yeah.
Is it better than what I have? Oh, absolutely. But
Brian, you want to share that video from X?
Which one from X? There was a bunch of them yesterday.
The one with the train.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. That's let me dig that up here a second. Yep.
If you want to look that one up, I'll go through these chats here. On location with Scott says the Ely tornado threw a freezer from a basement 500 yards from the house to a wheat field, and a car 300 yards in the same field. It's not that wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. And that is a wonderful, wonderful point, Scott, because what that wind is doing is it's sucking up everything in its path, and it is just tossing it everywhere.
That's
Carl,
crazy. That is crazy.
Carl says, hey guys, I wore my motorcycle helmet driving once in Rolla, Missouri, and funnel clouds were all around. Also, Chicago is one of the scariest sounding tornado sirens. They sound like the world is ending. And that's probably a good idea for Chicago to have that, Carl, because Chicago's actually had quite a few tornadoes in its history.
Yeah, those are those ones that are on those long wooden posts, and there's a speaker just sitting on it yay high, and it goes woo like that.
Yeah, it sounds like an air raid siren. It really does.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would definitely believe that Carl would wear a motorcycle helmet driving through Rolla, Missouri, because that's another area that could be prone with tornadoes. And I've driven through a couple of tornado-worn areas before, but there were no funnels. They were just radar-indicated rotation. But if you are on the road and you see a tornado, stop on the shoulder. Don't stop under an overpass, and find a ditch. Don't try and outrun a tornado. It's not going to end well for you.
Well, we talk about these as tornado sirens. I think what most people don't realize is that the tornado sirens were actually designed for when the Russians were going to be bombing us, during the Cold War. The tornado warning effect of it was just secondary.
Yes.
The whole air raid siren thing was for a completely different reason. So the fact that the ones in Chicago made the world sound like it was ending is because when they were designed, that's what was going to happen.
Because the world would end.
Yeah, I mean, it was not, you know, if for people who know Milwaukee, I mean, Summerfest ground was the site of Nike missiles for a number of years downtown. So,
Gator Jake remembers air raid sirens in Korea. It's eerie to hear, and I've heard them on TV over. I remember during the first Gulf War hearing the air raid sirens over in Iraq. So you know, I've never actually. I mean, I've heard the tornado sirens in Quinnipiac, which is basically, like you said, an old air raid siren. And for me, it was a period of time where that was how all the volunteer firemen got called to the firehouse when they had to be put out on a call.
Yep.
But so I've never experienced that going off for something serious like a tornado or a missile strike.
Yeah. Well, I found the video here.
Okay, so let's. You don't think tornadoes are serious? This is a freight train.
So,
ADM. I've been watching that. How come we don't hear no siren?
Hang on, Brian. Pause that.
I know.
Yep. Pause.
You heard him say, "Why didn't he hear no sirens?" We just got done talking about that.
There may not be one in the area, although I find that hard to believe, being where they're located outside of Lincoln.
Right.
But no one has hit the button yet. I mean, I know for my local set of sirens, it has to be activated manually by the 911. It's done in the 911 dispatch center, and it activates it for the whole county. There was some complaints about the one that went off yesterday. Is that why is it going off in downtown Racine when it was out in Waterford? And it's like, here it's, you know, it's a whole county or not at all. So,
right. So go ahead and finish playing. I heard that, and I just want to make sure that we emphasize the fact that just because you have sirens in your area doesn't mean they're going to go off.
Not only that, they're designed for the people who are outside. They're not really designed for people who are in a house.
Right.
I wonder why many people stop in their cars.
Looks like that tornado is pretty far away right now.
It looks like it, but you would be surprised how quickly this thing will catch up.
Going small again.
Now, these guys are sitting in a train on the train tracks with multiple cars behind them.
Yeah.
But the train's not even moving.
No,
right
they're
now,
ordered to stop.
Hope it stays small like that when it does.
Yeah, this is when there is severe weather like this in the area. They dispatcher will tell them to stop, park it, and let the severe weather pass.
And that's probably the best idea.
Yeah, if they're moving, to be even worse.
You better go. I wouldn't sit right there.
Well, you don't have much of a choice. When you're told to stop, you stop. You don't have much of a choice. As long as they weren't blocking a grade crossing, which, if you notice right in front of them, there is one, the road. So they had to be stopped short of that road.
Why weren't they evacuating the train?
Well,
they're probably safest in the train.
Yeah, they really are. You get down to the nose, which you'll see here in a minute. It's the safest place they can be.
But look at that funnel cloud and listen to it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's going to be some language in here.
That just took that building out. That did.
They just watched an entire building be demolished. And all of the stuff that's floating around in the air, that's all debris. Which goes back to what Scott said. And you can hear everything hitting the train. And they say we probably shouldn't be close to the windows.
We're gonna have something on the ground. I guarantee we will. We got the shit on our windows. Get shit all on the thing.
Look at that window. It's just completely gone.
Shattered my window.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's a double plane window.
Okay, Brian, that's good. But Brian, those windows on those trains, I can only assume that they're made pretty stout.
Oh yeah,
to withstand a lot of stuff.
They are double pane. They have safety glazing on both sides of each pane. What you're looking at right now is one or both of those window panes completely and utterly shattered. It's just the amount of glue to hold them together.
It looks like the right one was like completely like shattered. But
It
the
was,
left one,
yeah. It was. It was.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
and
was.
you can see the cracks in the windshield too here. You know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the safest place for them was down to the nose, where they stepped down to. But yeah, it was craziness. And yeah, it did knock cars over, without a doubt.
I believe it was 13 cars.
Yeah,
13
I didn't.
freight cars.
So luckily, what I saw was all empty flats. So nothing
Okay,
big.
so Hunting and Stuff heard 31. I heard 13. So we'll go somewhere in the middle with 20.
And there were multiple trains that were derailed by the storms on Friday.
Yeah,
it's become the most popular because the crew filmed it, which technically does violate several rules, but for what was going on, I don't think that anyone's going to say anything. So
Carl says there's a train video where the tornado flipped the train off the track, and
yes.
I didn't want to pass this up because Gator Jake said that I had to dive into a shipping container buried in the ground during a Scud attack in Iraq in 1991. So that is crazy scary, Gator Jake.
What's a Scud? What does Scud stand for?
Those were the type of missiles that Iraq used to attack the U.S. Forces during the Iraq War back in 1991.
Oh, gotcha.
They're a surface to air or surface to surface missile, I believe. But no, that I wanted to show that because number one, a train is huge, and number two, the fact that if they wouldn't have ducked, they could have definitely been injured from the stuff that was hitting the windows, because those windows are high quality windows, and anything that was coming through those was going to end up hurting them at some way, shape, or form. Stuff is dyslexic. But we're getting towards the end of the show. Hopefully anybody with any questions, you feel free to email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com, or leave a comment down below and we can have Brian answer them, because he's going to be more apt to answer any specific weather questions than me. I'm just more on the safety side of things.
Well, let me share this little video here, Jason, real quick.
Yeah, go for it, Brian.
This is one that someone was referencing. So this is just a rear camera watching the train from the rear locomotive. He's seeing stuff fly between the.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa!
Wow.
That's crazy. What?
Oh, keep watching.
Man, that car just got derailed.
Yeah. So
that's
that was
insane.
that was it was insane. That was the tornado that actually struck here in Wisconsin in January. It's our first January tornado. That was happened to be south of us in Illinois, and between Harvard and Janesville. And yeah, I mean, it wind came, blew everything over, and the rest of the train kept on going because you stop real fast when you go in emergency, and not everything stops that quickly. So
Right. I think.
scary stuff.
Oh, okay. So,
Oh, that's one of the Chicago sirens.
yeah. Can you guys hear that? Let me play it again. I just want to make sure that it's actually coming through the stream here. But this is the sound of the tornado sirens in Chicago. Karl Marx just sent me it.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine that happening and you're sitting in Chicago?
Yeah, that is a spooky sounding siren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and Karl Marx just sent me the video that you just sent. It actually sounds like, remember the old British police cars? It just sounds like a broken British police car going down the highway.
Yeah, not only is it different tones, but the thing's rotating at the same time. It's if you can't hear that, but I mean, the way modern houses are designed, you're not going to. I mean, where they're so efficient, and airtight for heat and efficiency, you're never going to hear that inside your house. At least you should. So, never rely on it.
We do have our Johnson Juice flavored Blinker Fluid of the Week winner, and that winner is going to be
Number two.
Number two is our winner. So Brian, congratulations.
I was not surprised by that.
Now you're going to have to enjoy some Johnson Juice after the program.
Does everyone know what Johnson Juice is?
That would be, if you don't know what Johnson Juice is,
Go back and watch a couple videos back.
Yeah, go back and watch a couple videos, or boom, right there.
Boom, there it is. I got some in my fridge over there. I got some.
Let's see here. No, that was Brian's video. That was Brian's video where the car came and cut across 3 lanes of traffic to make his exit off to the left.
Yeah,
which is always fun.
Yeah, Dan was hitting the F-150. That was the first video.
Yes. But so it's really something that I felt was important enough to talk about on today's show, and we really didn't get sidetracked on anything else from anybody. So I hope you guys didn't mind having a little bit of a weather preparedness video. It's very important. We want everybody to stay safe.
Yeah, I mean, you never know when a tornado might hit, so you always gotta be prepared for the worst, I guess.
Yes, Brian, you grabbed a handheld.
Yeah, well, again, Brian the weather dork. An amateur. In case everyone's wondering about my weather fascination, I am a member of Skywarn. I am a trained weather spotter, so all kinds of fun stuff. So I probably study this a lot more than most people ever have.
Not only that, but he graces us with his presence every Sunday. Plus he has like 18 jobs throughout the day. So, I don't think this man ever sleeps. I think he just plugs himself in.
Yeah, well, I have one job throughout the day, but it's I'm very, very fortunate that I do work from home full time, so I can spread my time accordingly to many different items at once. So
Thank you, Gator Jake. I appreciate that. And to my trolls out there, I just want to let you know I love you too, because your watch time is just as valuable as the people that do like me. And if you really think that I shouldn't be flying drones because I suck that bad, well, then I'm going to keep flying drones so that you keep coming back to watch. How about that?
Yeah.
you haven't shared that little
might be a little
tidbit of
rusty
knowledge
to start
with anyone else. What did you say, TJ?
I said I think I need to start flying my FPV again. I think I might be a little rusty. I haven't flown my Avata in a while.
Well, make sure you record it for prosperity.
Oh, TJ, make sure that you're there Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, because I may have flown manual for the first time.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And the last.
So we'll give everybody the last word. TJ, you go first.
Let's see. Just be safe out there whenever, make sure you have all your necessities in regards to tornadoes. Make sure you have the things that you need, like your radios, batteries, and water, and make sure everything's charged, because you don't want to be without your phone, be without whatever you need to survive the tornado.
Amen, brother. Brian?
Yeah, I mean, just the Boy Scouts have the term "be prepared." I mean, that is our motto for a reason. For those of you that were involved in scouting, like I was, there's a reason for that. Have your first aid kit available. I mean, that's something we didn't talk about either. I mean, does everyone have a first aid kit at their home? That's probably should be something that's in your go bag. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of resources on what you need to do to be prepared for any life safety style events. So,
Ottercat says, I can fly a kite. Hunting and Stuff said, I take a hike while you're at it, Ottercat. Ottercat says, prick.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of good people watching here today, and I do appreciate everybody that voted for today's Blinker Flute of the Week, and I do appreciate everybody that has commented. And just so you know, this is something that I do just because I love doing it. I'm not going for the watch time hours or anything else like that, because obviously you don't get any watch time from doing live streams. It's not until after the thing's uploaded and processed for YouTube. I do this because this is a labor of love for me. I've always wanted to be on radio. I wanted to do talk radio for years and years and years. But I don't have, number one, talent, number two, money, number three, a radio station that would even take me. So YouTube is the perfect platform for me to do it, because I can just do it, and you guys, you don't have to show up, but Brian pays you every week, so I appreciate that.
don't share my secrets.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone for being here. I know that you have many other choices to watch on YouTube, so I do really appreciate that. And according to Scott, I do have a face for radio. And you're not kidding, because I've said that many times. I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with me, and we'll see you later on down the road. Bye, guys.
Bye.